Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, for today's lesson, we will cover subtopic 1.3, that is growth curves. Okay, so you need to know the three types of plant based on their life cycle. So we have annual plant, biennial plant, and also perennial plant. Alright, so let's move to the first plant, that is annual plant. Okay, so the first one is the annual plant is a plant that have a life cycle for a season or a year. Okay, have life cycle for a season or a year. Okay, and this plant will die after completing their biological cycle. Okay, the annual plants start with the germination, okay, and end with the flowering or producing seeds. Okay, the examples of the annual plant is paddy plants, pumpkin, and also watermelon. Okay, so we move to the next plant, that is biennial plant. Okay, for biennial plant, it takes 2 years with 2 seasons of growth to complete their life cycle. Okay, and the second one is the first growth is a vegetative growth. Okay, that is the roots, the leaf, and also the stem. And then the third one is the growth process stop during winter. Okay, the growth process will stop during winter, and then after the winter, the growth will continuous. Okay, after during spring and summer, the growth continue for the reproduction, for the flowering. Okay, and then after producing fruits and seeds, then the plant will die. So this pictures is the example of plant that undergo biennial plant. Okay, these are the example of the biennial plant, such as the carrots, okay, such as the silvercock comb plant, and also the cabbage. Alright, the third one is the perennial plant. Right, so the perennial plants live more than 2 years and longer lifespan, and it has two categories, that is the woody perennial plant and also herbaceous perennial plant. This plant able to flower and bear fruits many times throughout leaves. Okay, and then its structures adaptable to the surrounding and temperature change. Okay, next for the next section for the 1.3 subtopic is we look at the curve, the growth curve in the annual plant. Okay, so this is the graph for the annual plant. If you look at here, okay, the x-axis is a time or a week, and then the y-axis is a dry mass. Okay, if you look at this curve, okay, it is called a sigmoid curve. Okay, the S curve, the sigmoid curve. Right? Okay, and then we look at stage A. Okay, the stage A, it is a decreasing dry mass. Why the mass is decreasing? Okay, this is because, okay, when we germinate the seeds, okay, the seeds will use, okay, the cotyledon, okay, the food stored in the cotyledon, okay, for germination. So that's why we look at the graph, the dry mass of this plant is decreasing, and then after at some point the growth, the dry mass will increase. Why this is happen? Okay, stage B, this is due to the occurrence of the leaf of the plant, and then of course if there is a leaf, so that means the plant will undergo photosynthesis process. Okay, so it can produce food, and then the food being used to produce more leaf and stem, and also the roots. So that's why it will make the mass increasing until at point 3. The third one is the stage C. This is a constant dry mass here. Okay, why at this stage the mass is constant? Because the growth rate is 0 and the plant is matured at this stage. Okay, that means the plant did not undergo any more growth, and if there's any cell division occurs, okay, actually to replace the dead tissues or dead cells, but not to increase their mass anymore. Okay, then the last one is stage D, is a stage of decreasing the dry mass. Why the mass is decreasing is because of the aging and the lower rate of photosynthesis. So and also the shading of the leaves. Okay, the shading of the leaves, and also at this stage also occurs seeds dispersal. So that makes the mass of the plant is decreasing. Alright, and then we look at the biennial plant. Okay, the biennial plant. So it refers to the plant that undergo 2 times of sigmoid curve. Okay, 2 sigmoid curve occurs for this type of plant. Okay, then the first growth, this is for the first growth. Okay, for the first growth season, the plant produce leaf. Okay, the vegetative part of the plants, that is the leaf, the root, the stem. Okay, and photosynthesis of course will take place at its have a leaf, so photosynthesis will take place. So that's why there is increasing in the mass. And then the food stored in the tuberous. So this is the tuberous. Okay, so that is a part that the product of photosynthesis being stored. Okay, and then for the second growth season, this one, okay, what happened here is the food that's stored is used to produce flowers and also seed, and then after 2 years this plant will dead. Alright, that is for biennial plant. The last part is the perennial plant. Okay, the perennial plant. Okay, actually the perennial plant has a series of small sigmoid curve. A series of small sigmoid curve, and the growth occurs throughout the lifespan of the plant. Okay, and the rate of growth is high during spring and also during summer, because at this time the light intensity of the sun is at the maximum. Okay, at the maximum. So of course the high in light intensity will increase the rate of photosynthesis, and then the rate of growth for this plant will decrease during the winter, of course, because the light intensity is low. Right, so if you can see here, the perennial plant, okay, it has a series of sigmoid curve. Okay, because this plant, the lifespan is more than 3 years. Okay, the lifespan is more, so that's why the growth curve is like this. Alright, okay, so that's all for subtopic 1.3, and thank you.